Well, our next guest is going to be J.T Hartke, and J.T. is calling in as well. Are you there, J.T.?
Yeah, I sure am.
All right, how about you give us a little bit about your background?
Well, unlike kind of your previous two guests, my book is a fiction book, so I didn't have any direct experience because my novel is sort of it's an epic fantasy, sort of like Lord of the Rings, and I've never actually been a wizard nor spoken to a dragon, so you can't have... but most of my experience comes from the fact that from the time I was 8 years old, I picked up Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe from the Chronicles of Narnia, and I was hooked forever after on the idea of science fiction and fantasy and reading something that's outside your realm. To me, reading something from based in 20th and 21st century America seems very, very boring to me.
Yeah.
So I like to read things that are more fantastical and out there. And so it was about 2008 when I got laid off from a job when the big economy started coming down. And while I was doing a job hunt, I had a lot of time behind a computer. And I think if you ask 75% of people out there, they would say, you know, yes, I believe I have a novel inside of me if only I had the time to write it. Well, I actually had no excuse to not have the time to write it. So I sat down and I wrote a novel. And then for about a year, I submitted it to different publishers. And finally one picked me up, but the thing was, they told me I needed to learn how to write. They loved my story, they loved my characters, they loved what I did with the world, but I needed some brushing up on my writing style. So then we took another year and really cleaned it up, and actually just released the Dragonsoul Saga 2 weeks ago at Comic-Con in San Diego.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, JT, your books are all on ebook format, though, correct?
Yes, they are.
Okay, and how are they doing there?
They're actually selling really well. What was great about at Comic-Con, I was of course selling traditional paper books there, but I was passing out a lot of cards which have the beautiful cover and map from my book on them, and we had a huge uptick in website hits from that. And online there, right from the website, we have a download where you can download the first 4 chapters for free and sample the book. You know, we call it bait, as I said. But after that, I could direct anybody to Kindle and Amazon. And as people were walking by, maybe they didn't want to buy the paper copy, but they sure were interested in whether I was on Amazon and on Nook. So, yeah, those sales have really gone up since Comic-Con. The way... I agree with several things you said. The point about writing from experience in your life, it's very important because, I mean, I'm writing within the realm of fantasy, so the scenes that I'm writing are not something somebody's going to experience in their daily, everyday life, but romance, fear for the safety of your family, you know, a challenge that you've got to overcome that is epic in proportion, you know, that's all stuff that everybody deals with in their lives. So
absolutely.
I really agree with that. So I think that bringing that into a great story that has action and fun characters and maybe makes you laugh, maybe makes you cry, I think that that's where literature comes in.
Well, you know, that's true whether it's a memoir or a fantasy like you're talking about, or just a novel, a regular novel. Well, I'm going to ask JT, because JT, you had your book published through a publisher. Have you experienced any of this?
Well, actually, I mean, my publisher handles all the website, but you're absolutely right. I mean, even when you've got a publisher behind you, it's complicated to keep a website unified with a Twitter feed, unified with a Facebook feed, and then try to keep, you know, keep your catalog current and every item available, and manage, you know, Amazon and everybody. So, you know, being published is hard enough. I can't imagine being self-published and being your own webmaster as well as your own publicist and all of that. I'm lucky to have a team of that behind me.
When selecting ebook titles, we use words that convey the benefit of what's in the ebook, as well as words your audience is familiar with. A bad title for an ebook, you know, is obviously like online marketing for newbies. A good title for an ebook could be 97 ways to promote your website. No experience required. So sometimes you might want to come up with something that's catchy or humorous. Usually you want something that's going to deal with the book, because if the title has no relationship to the book whatsoever, you're kind of like throwing people off.
Yeah.
How has everyone come up with titles to their books? Who would like to take this?
That's a really good question.
Well, let's see. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, JT.
Sorry, this is JT. Of course, the name of my book is the Dragonsoul Saga, and that title, I was lucky that it was one I picked, and the publisher liked it well. It fits right into the pocket of the genre. Dragons are huge right now. It's the year of the dragon. I go to a convention every year called Dragon Con, so, you know, when you and that's part of finding that fine line between trying to write something that's real literary value and also finding a marketable product that's going to make you the money so you can write the artistic book later in your life that you want to write, you know. Mm-hmm. So when I was coming up with titles, I wanted something that would be, you know, a few words, easily searched on, you know, and that gives a sense of both mystery and what the saga is about.